welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
And remember, our goal is always to guide you to personal and financial wellness.
Welcome to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. That's right. We love bringing you great professionals. We've been doing it for 8 years now to help guide you to personal and financial wellness. And we oftentimes bring our own professionals, people that we use specifically ourselves that have done a great job. And we bring them in to educate you on a regular basis. And today is no different. Today is a great day with great information from one of our top professionals. Probably been on our show 24 times, you think, Gino?
For sure. As a part of the America's Professional Resource Group, and initially we tried to find the absolute top insurance person, and now I'm absolutely convinced we did.
Yes, without a doubt, because he's part of...
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you handle our personal, you handle our business, you handle our friends, our clients, family members, all that. You've done a great job. And Mr. Carlos Villalobos with Villalobos Insurance.
Thank you very much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here. And hopefully...
Not bad for being in the business 2 years.
You've been in the business 2 years? No, I've been on it now 31.
Almost 32. You dropped a 30 there.
Yeah, almost. So it's been a nice, long ride.
Yeah.
Well,
But it's always learning, so it's really fun to be in the business.
Well, the dynamics are always changing of any business, particularly as technology advances and other things, the dynamics change. In your business, it's a little more natural causes that change the dynamics of your business.
Yes, it's amazing that from year to year it changes so rapidly. And what you knew, all of a sudden it doesn't pertain anymore. And a good example is mail. We used to be bombarded with mail. Now if we get one piece of mail per day, it's a miracle because everything's email.
Yeah, right.
So our printing cost goes up, but that's okay because that's part of doing business. It's just how, it revolves and it goes forward.
Well, what's nice is you're always studying, you're always researching things. We know that because you come in here always with valuable information and knowledge. We learn something every time you come in. I mean, a lot of times, like, you'll be talking about, in general, what others should be doing, and Gino go, that means us.
Yeah, I know.
That, like, we were just talking about that I should have an umbrella policy, and I don't. And you're like, but why not? And
we'll
you
take care
won't
of
force
that.
me, but you were like, hey, you should at this stage have an umbrella policy, especially with all the
timing's
different properties.
everything. And
we have all the different properties now that we have to protect.
Remember, an umbrella is not for everybody. You have to have assets to protect. So once you have assets accumulated to protect, then you're
Correct.
like, okay, now I need it.
Yeah, and it's it's not that expensive to have an umbrella, and just to have that peace of mind that if your underlying policies limits expire, they're done, then the umbrella kicks in and gives you better protection.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot. I mean, you could be driving down the freeway, hit somebody accidentally, and they're in a coma for 2 months. Well, your 100, 300 is not going to cut it.
No. Right.
So they're going to go after your assets, whether it be a property, your savings account, your 401. So the umbrella is there to protect that.
Ah, that's good to know.
Yeah.
We weren't even going to talk about umbrellas today. We segued.
So if somebody does want to, because what's nice is you're always willing to consult and give advice.
Yes.
On a regular basis with 31 years experience and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and ask right now because somebody might go, ooh, I better ask Carlos about an umbrella policy. How do they get hold of you?
Just call me at 255-8282. That's here in Santa Clarita. Or you can send me an email at Carlos, V as in Victor, the word insurance spelled out at gmail.com. We'll be happy to answer any questions. We don't even charge for the answers. And we're always honest. That's the one thing. I mean, if you have a great product, we're going to let you know. We give you advice what you should do. I pretend it's my insurance. That's how I handle everybody most of the time. So just give me a call, 255-8282, and ask me the question, and I'll be happy to reply.
And I know we're going to talk about some of the changes in the insurance field, but
yes.
Just as a general rule of thumb, if I'm right now listening to the show, how often should I evaluate my insurance situation?
Well, you should do it every year, technically.
Right,
I mean, because there's a lot of things that can go on. I mean, if you have your auto insurance example, you're commuting to downtown every day, and all of a sudden you haven't worked for 6 months, but you haven't told your agent about it. Well, you're still paying that rate.
Yeah.
So if there's any change whatsoever in your life, you should advise your insurance agent or your insurance company. There's companies now that don't have agents anymore.
Agentless,
so that being said, just call your carrier and say, hey, listen, I remodeled my kitchen. Is that covered? you know,
Yeah.
or
Well, that's the one thing that, and it's funny you mentioned that when you're going over different coverages and this and that, things do change because there's a couple times like we brought up certain things you like, you know, you need to let your insurance guy know that.
Right.
Because you don't think about that. You think, I'm just covered. But if you do improvements to your home, I know we bought a bunch of equipment for because you handle our insurance for our business. And we're like, yeah, we just got $25,000 worth of this equipment. You're like, you know, you might want to let me know that so I make sure it's covered.
right, we can only insure what we're aware of.
Right.
So a lot of times people will get this beautiful floor that was not there when the house was built. The house is destroyed in a fire. Well, they're going to build a house the way it was.
Right.
What about my floor?
Carpet. Yeah,
Okay.
nice carpet.
So those are minor little details that nobody takes into consideration, but that's why you should talk to your insurance agent. Just let them know, hey, I've done this. The solar panels, another good thing. You know, people put solar panels on their roof. They don't advise the insurance agent. They're not covered.
I got to make sure ours are covered.
No, well, but you know,
Every time you
I
come
know.
on the show, the 98% of my money goes to some kind of insurance.
Well, let's go back to that really quick because some carriers with the solar panels, you're leasing them, so they're insuring them.
True.
But we bought
But we
ours.
are ours.
Oh well, you might want to look into that, folks.
And
Jeez.
we paid a lot because we got the good stuff.
You
at
did get the
SunPower.
good
We
stuff.
didn't mess
Yeah, but
around.
those are minor little things that, you know, again, you know, or maybe you have a 2-car garage and you take that 2 garage, add a second story to it to make it your own private office, and nobody's aware of that. And it burns in a fire. You're getting a 2-car garage, so much for your office.
I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
All right, good advice.
You know?
Okay, so what we're gonna do? You brought some great topics, so we're gonna go. We're gonna take a little break because I want to go straight into this because I want this to be a main topic, but because it was pretty prevalent this year, especially in California, with the wildfires and how many homes it took
Okay.
over. And you have a great segment here about after the fires, what happens, and some great advice from Carlos Villalobos with Villalobos Insurance. So stay tuned. Some great information coming up. Don't go away.